Alright, race number 3, we're back with the truck series and we are doing our first qualifying race today. So if you missed the post earlier, we now have, I want to say 43 trucks. So the top 5 from this list here, and the final race standings will advance to our main feature race. Those drivers include Daniel Banks in the 92 Avalanche Territory Racing, John Jacobs in the 89 Jarvie Motorsports entry, Virginia Brock in the 42 Blue Dog Racing truck, 96 Keegan Love Jr. In Avalanche Territory Racing, 21 Julia Powell of GMS Motorsports, 25 Brody Walker, WK Racing, 14 of Adrian McCoy in the Zacapa Racing entry, and last but certainly not least, Carson Hubbard in the Flow Car Motorsports, and they're fielding their second truck for the first time season. So the way it works is they're going to qualify like regular, and the race is going to be 14 laps. I think that's what the race is. Yeah, 14 laps. It's a 5% race, no yellow flags, nothing of the sort, just flat out racing. Whoever makes it in the top 5 in those 14 laps will advance to the main race for their chance to win some cash. Let's get going.
Drivers, to your car.
Alright, so not that qualifying is overly important right now since there's only 8 trucks, but Julie Powell qualifies on pole. Keegan Love Jr. outside front row, John Jacobs 3rd, Daniel Banks 4th, Carson Hubbard 5th. And then you have the drivers looking to make their way in. And in case you're wondering, Will, in case you didn't see that, I did get your upgrades in. That was like the fastest I've ever had to upgrade, but I got them all in, so I assure you it applies to this 25 truck right now. So, let's get to it. Oh, jeez. Alright. It really skips pretty quick with only 8 trucks there. Guess we'll just have to wait the 11 seconds, but that's okay. Gives us a better chance to look at these trucks before they get the cue to start their engines. You can see we got some new trucks on the grid. Let's take a quick look at those while we're waiting. First in that queue I can see is going to be the 0 truck of Carson Hubbard. Very similar to the way the 50 looked at the beginning of the first season. If you remember Mike Carroll's truck at Flow Car Entry, he just simply removed the 5 off it. So very beautiful looking sponsorless truck as usual from our boy Mr. Carroll. Championship winning team, so I expect big things from the second entry. First time they've had a two car or 2 truck race, potentially. Not guaranteed, but we'll see. Got that 14 there of Adrian McCoy. Right there in that Toyota. Going with the orange, kind of pink, and sand brown entry. That'll stand out, even though it doesn't have any logos on it. You'll definitely recognize that one right away. These are the only 2, really, that are kind of new. That push the last straw on the camel's back that caused us to have these qualifying races. There's a few team owners that also helped push a lot of these drivers outside of the top 35 based off last season's points. We are green flag racing for our first qualifying race. It is all or nothing for these drivers. Bottom 3 will not make the show. Yeah, Jess, so I did state clearly that single car teams and charter teams make it. I also kind of want team owners to be involved, so that's why you have 2 guys bumped out, because you kind of joined them late in the last season. So if I'm not sure where your 2 drivers are in the points this season, but after this race it will be based off the top 35 in points going forward for the rest of the season. However, team owners or single car teams or charter teams will advance regardless. So just make sure you're above that cut line, which I'll probably figure out after this race. You know if you're in this one or not. See the 42 of Virginia Brock just smoking him on the inside. What a run she got. It's going to be interesting to see who, if any of the regulars get knocked out versus some of the new guys. No upgrades. 42 is being charged to the front with the 96 of Love Jr. Line seems to be preferable right now, but that high line is no joke. Especially on those straightaways, you get all the momentum from the turn. 5 now making his way from that think he was 8th or 7th starting spot. He's right up there in the top 5, so he's good. Got 0 now of Carson Hubbard making his way up to the top 4. We're on lap 5 already. These races are quick. This is basically meant to figure out who is the best of the best. 96 with the lead. 25 gaining on this group now. Carson Hubbard doing what he needs to do in his first race. Going for Rookie of the Year honors, these two drivers right here, the 14 and the 0, so see what happens is Daniel Banks. I believe Daniel Banks won an exhibition race at, was it Widowmaker? Hasn't done much since, to be honest, but it is what it is. You know, there's a lot of drivers on the market, not stuck with just the one, so that's something for you to think about if Daniel Banks is constantly not performing for you. That 21 has kind of slid back since the green flag, but she's still in the top 5, doing just what she needs to do. The rest of the top 5 are kind of single file. We'll keep our eyes on this transfer spot. No prize money for this race. I was thinking maybe I might incorporate some sort of prize, but why should I reward people who barely make the show, right? So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Obviously, you guys are money hungry monsters, so maybe you'll want some sort of prize for first place or something like that, but I don't see a point in it. The 42 now starting to slide back. Lap 9, 5 laps to go. 6, sorry. Virginia Brock now looks to become the final truck in the transfer spot. As Hubbard is being dragged, or dragging along the 89 and the 14. Those top 3 start to walk away from the rest of the field. I'm glad you guys agree, but that's the first time you guys have said no to money, so I'm gonna hold you to that one, guys. So that 42, the last truck in the transfer spot. Lap 11, 4 laps to go. Quickie. As Hubbard moves back into the transfer spot, these guys really just want a little bit of a buffer. You don't want to be the last guy in the transfer spot, but the more you run side by side, the quicker these trucks in behind you can catch up. As you can see, the 14 now of McCoy catching the 0. That 92 truck has not moved from last position since the start of the green flag, really, so I would be surprised if he could make something happen in the next 3 laps, but he's kind of got a gap there. It's just basically between these 3, maybe even 4, with Virginia Brock right up there. Maybe she'll make a mistake, but 0, 14, and 89 all battling for 1 spot. We'll see what happens in the next 2 laps. 96, teammate of Daniel Banks, has kind of slightly dominated this one. Hasn't given up the lead since he's gotten up there. Here in the end of this one, a little bit of a battle handling, or starting for second, which might bunch up the rest of this pack. We'll see. Final lap now. Hubbard holding on to that final transfer spot. Top 5 advance, remember that. We're looking at the final transfer spot. Powell starts to slide back a little bit, but like the 14 and the 89 don't have what it takes right now just to get in front of that 0 truck. I think it's going to stay status quo. coming off the final corner, and it will be just that. Looks like Hubbard is your final transfer spot. We got Keegan Love Jr., and then we got Walker, and then Brock, Powell, and Hubbard all transferring over. Those are your final, or your 5 transfers into Kansas. Do that real quickly. Okay, so good job to those who advanced. Better luck next time to those who didn't. I know McCoy's making his first start. It's unfortunately he couldn't make the race, but John Jacobs and Daniel Banks should definitely know better at this point. They have more experience than the rest of those young drivers, and I'm sure those team owners are going to be looking at their performance of the drivers lately now that we've had our first qualifying race. So I'm going to take a quick 5-minute break, get these it won't be 5 minutes, I promise. Yeah, get these the roster set for the race, and we'll get into the meat and potatoes of this event. So just give me 1 second. Okay, well, now we're back for the main event. Kansas Speedway 54 lap race with yellows on, so got a little bit of a preview of what's to come with that 8-car qualifier, but it looks like Vladimir Makarov is leading your practice charts currently. And we're getting reports from the Avalanche camp that Banks may be on his way out. We may have seen the last of that 92 driver after a very poor Kansas performance. Not up to par with the rest of the team. Keegan Love won that qualifying race, and he's right there 19th, so not a bad effort from him today, possibly. We can see more of the same. So let's get into qualifying.
Drivers, to your cars.
Have Danielle Baker and Lily Holmes first and second. Of course, Mattitude making a very strong case for championship this season. It's going to be very interesting to see if those upgrades pay off, but between them and the Sovatech team, there is a lot of upgrading going on between them. It's almost like a little bit of a battle between the two teams to see who can upgrade the fastest. Matt has stated his intentions to running for the truck championship, and that's the primary focus of that team. So we'll see if all the efforts pay off for that team as the season progresses. I see there's a small issue with my ticker, so I'm just going to push that sucker real quick and we'll get into race. Go.
Drivers, to your
Here we
cars.
go. Dave's loving the afternoon delights. 54 laps, more or less like last season. I think the pit sequence should be around 30, lap 30 or so. We'll see what happens during the race, but I think it should be around lap 30. So only one stop race. The trucks. You can see now, got some new trucks in the field. We got that 39 of Jonathan Dennison. Welcome to the league, sir. I whipped up this paint real, like, super duper quick, as you can tell. Just a blank 39 on it. Hopefully you can attract a sponsor with that and start earning some real cash. After this one, who else we got? It's any new paints that I might have forgotten about as we go green. Got the 27, her first paint job, and the Tide Dodge there. I think that's about it for the newies. Of course, we saw the 0 in the qualifying race as we are green flag racing. Baker takes us off. Start of 54 laps. I am very curious to see the outcome of this upgrading battle between these two teams. Maybe WK Racing Factory would like to get in on that as they're upgrading as well. Baker gets the first lap. Ford's very hot on her heels. Got 61 there of McRae. Not having a great season so far, but it's enough for him to still stay in contention of the playoffs. As you can see, the rookie driver Daniel Gill at 93. So this truck up front a lot last season on the speedways. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he won this race. This truck won this race last season. So they got a good setup under that truck. The last of the Mattitude Motors, the straggler, Callum Johnson, 6th spot. Not a bad showing. Oh, sorry, looks like Lily Holmes has dropped quite a bit too. I didn't see that she was still right up there. It's definitely falling back on that high line. Is not working for her. Look at this big cluster of trucks trying to get sorted in midfield. Gina Ferguson in that 27 truck had a great showing at Homestead in her first race, finishing 2nd. Enough to attract an iconic sponsor such as Tide. Going with some alternative colors to a Tide truck. Went with kind of like a faded green. The trying to promote more of an eco-friendly brand of Tide. Followed closely by Irvin Vargas, who won his first online race last night in the truck series. Congratulations, Irvin, you earned that. Let's see if you can do it in the offline series now. I can definitely tell you right now it's harder to win in the offline league than it is in the online league. That's from personal experience. Carson Hubbard in his first start. Floating around 30th or so. 26th last time by, sorry. A lot of these trucks are starting to get shuffled back as the other ones are going to the front. George Gallagher. Around in 40th right now. Or sorry, yeah, 40th. Having an okay season. Point all of the Winter Air Motorsports entries were doing fairly all right this season. Like Callum Johnson has taken over the lead, so we will jump back to the front. It's already gone. One lap and it's all gone. Keith Hughes, familiar face up front. His second tour of the Truck Series. He's already won a race this season, not with the 82, but with 84. Am I just making that up? Did I have a dream that... Oh, sorry, that was the Xfinity. My mistake. I'm already starting to mix up the series. But Hughes Motorsports, a very reliable and consistent team in both series so far. You can see one of the qualifying racers, Julia Powell, right up there in second, so she's making the most of her opportunity. See, is an advantage to potentially get those qualifying races in. You know what the track's gonna feel like when green flag starts. See Noah Cole now. Poor qualifying position. He's moved himself right up to the top 5. I think Noah Cole is mistaken. He's right at the bottom of the points. Had a terrible 2 first races. Looking to rebound from that. It's still a long way to go for the playoffs, so got some time. But really don't want to dig yourself too much of a hole early, else it'll just put more pressure on your team to win. Higher chances of mistakes with that type of mindset, that's for sure. I'm not sure if I mentioned it this season or not, but last season I did flirt with the idea. Ooh, have some smoke. Big crash. What happened there? Why? I was asleep at the wheel. Hold on, we will investigate that. Oh my god. 13 there of Tanner Woodward involved. Heavy impact. That's gonna take him out likely. Looks like it happened ahead of these guys. Looks like the 80-41. Ooh, 2 of the flow car entries involved. You can see the 80 just getting tight, hits the wall. 50 hits the 80, and then the 0 was impacted by that. Looks like he might have gotten away okay. So 13 had nowhere to go. Oh, Keegan Love Jr. head-on collision. 31 taken out. Oh, that's unfortunate for all these trucks right here. They were just looking to get a finish in. Don't tell me Virginia Brock just did that. Did she just avoid all of that? Are you kidding me? Wow. Gonna ride on board with Virginia Brock. That was Days of Thunder style stuff. We are live on board with the 42. You can see the accident happening way ahead over in the front stretch. Slams on the brakes. Looks like she taps her teammate just ever so slightly. Damage will be done, and boom. Accident avoidance 101 right there, folks. That is how you do it. Unfortunate, though, for a lot of these other teams that weren't as lucky as her. Got pit stops happening now. Sorry about that, I kind of missed it. See the, like they're racing off pit road. 48 got some damage. Wonder if that was from the pit stops. Let's just go back, and we got some time now. Let's go back and watch those pit stops again, shall we? We got some damage on one of the leaders, and we don't want to miss the action. See, they're all coming down pit road. Nice and spread out. This will definitely happen. You're coming in or coming out of pit road, and it looks like Callum is just pitting. He's clean so far. Looks okay up to this point, and it looks like, ooh, looks like the 96 kind of just short pit in the 48. Couldn't get out of the. This is clean. For any more issues on pit road, I'm not seeing anything as bad as that, but that 48 with a little bit of side damage, I don't think that'll affect him too much, but obviously you don't want to have damage at a speedway where aero is just so important. Like everyone else got off pit road okay from that, from what I can see. Carlos wants to see a replay of the 82. We're back live, and we're going green next time by, so I'm going to try and get this done quickly. Was it Keith you wanted to see, or was it another truck? Not sure if we're going to have enough time to analyze this crash too much more. That was the start of the caution. I'm hoping this is the one I wanted to see, but if not, then too bad. Sorry, no time. Oh. A little bit of side damage, but overall, pretty clean. Donovan certainly lucky there. Gonna go back live just before the start of the green flag. 33 still in 5th, so not too bad there, Dave. I mean, Leah Powell leads us back to green. Had her qualifying race, finished well in that, and taking that experience and brought it to the main race. Colin Johnson makes a quick move on her. A little bit of side damage there. I don't think it should affect him too much, but we'll see now. .33, still making moves, not finished. After a poor qualifying run, he's right up there. After that pit stop, they're still going to need to make one more stop, at least for fuel. Maybe just 2 tires as well. 17, Holmes, front. Cole wants that win. Nothing will piss off the rest of the field more if the guy in near the back of the points wins a race early. That would make things interesting and bring the cutoff point a little closer. Sorry, I don't know if I finished about the playoffs, but I was flirting with the idea of bringing the playoff window down to 12 drivers, so that way each cutoff has 4 drivers eliminated. So that's what the playoffs are going to be this season. Do the top 12, and that way we have 10 different winners. At least 2 will make it in on points. The top 2 haven't won. Kind of makes the first round a little bit less anxious for everyone. A little bit more fair. Yeah, because having 8 people eliminated in round 1 is that was pandemonium. But I kind of wanted all the team owners to be involved in the first year, kind of make it special. Obviously, it didn't work on my behalf as I missed the cutoff by I think one position, but whatever. Game. Go through the field. We got some big movers once again. 21. Did backwards. It's a restart. Already out of the top 10. Carson Hubbard involved in that wreck. Be okay with the damage. And just a little bit of side impact, but I don't think it was affected too badly. We'll go back a little further and we'll see who's kind of sluggish now and might have had more damage than we anticipated. As we can see, Callum Johnson, that side damage has affected him pretty severely, as he started up in second and he's already in 34th, 4.5 seconds behind. So more damage than we initially thought. Let's see, the 7 fairly in the rear is 44 and 31 were involved in that crash, so they're well off the pace. Seems to me everyone else involved has retired. Really just 2 trucks kind of really off the pace. See Tristan Grace, our buddy that normally joins us in the booth, right up there again. A while since he's been up front. At number 2, Hooters Dodge Ram. Dave, you crack me up. We gotta have you in the booth here one day, Dave. Honestly, your antics would be sublime to have on the broadcast. Let's see Noah Cole fighting for that 3rd position. Got 3 manufacturers in the top 3. Our first Toyota, last checked off in 6th place, so Toyota struggling a lot compared to last season, where they just dominated the regular season and then kind of tapered off as the season went. But it looks like the rest of the manufacturers have caught up to them in terms of performance on speedways, and I say that, in the 6th car looks like he's on the move right now. Of course, this 33 truck came so close to winning last season with team owner Dave Grubb behind the wheel, but just couldn't get it done. They came closest at Richmond, leading a fair amount of the race until the final lap, where Jess Hanna stole the victory and clinched his ticket to the playoffs. Or sorry, to the next round of the playoffs. Greg Shetner right up there. One of the factory Dodge teams. Lily Holmes, like she was in the wall. I'm gonna slide back a little bit. Shetner moves into 2nd now. 2 Dodges up front. Looks like Dodge brought over the right teams this season. They've been performing exceptionally well. The VRM team kind of dominating Xfinity and leading the charge for the Xfinity program. I think they have factory support there, and the 2 and the 43 up front this race in the trucks, they've been off to a flying start early. Chevy's also been fairly good as well. Ford's been the consistent, quiet manufacturer, and I would say Toyota struggled the most compared to last season. You can see newcomer Jonathan Dennison in his way up to the front as well. Where did he come from? Sponsor list 39 Chevy. Jonathan, if you ever watched this, I wasn't sure which number you wanted. You never told me, so I assumed 39 because that's what you run in the online league. I kind of just went with it. That's sort of a BAM racing style entry here, all white with the yellow 39. Get some sponsorship on that truck for the next race. 43 looks to make the move on Tristan for the lead. Oh, come on, Dave. I'm talking about the leaders, obviously, because, you know, I'm calling a race, so I'm going to talk about somebody who's moving up. You're way too superstitious. Oh, the Batson curse. I don't think the Batson curse is real. Hasn't gotten involved in any accidents. We're well past halfway, so good start for this 39 camp. So next race is going to be an interesting one. Trucks and Xfinity both headed to Bristol Motor Speedway. We know that track can get pretty dicey at times with the accidents. The AI kind of act on that track is very unpredictable. Much like Martinsville and other short tracks, it's going to be hard to find a version that allows the AI to make a pit stop under yellow, not go a lap down. So I'm going to try my best to find one. I think I have it, but it's I got to play around with the pace car speed and all that stuff. So nothing else kind of ruins somebody's race by just making a regular 4-tire stop midfield and going a lap down. Another newcomer here, Anna Ferguson, finishing second in her first race. She's now making her way up to the top 5. A lot of the UMS Motorsport entries are having a good race today. The 21 here, Julia Powell, Greg Shetner well up into the top 5. We saw the 61 up front earlier. I'm not sure where he's falling back to. I'm kind of scanning the standings to see where he is. He's 25th right now, but 2 out of 3 is not bad. First, we saw the Avalanche Territory Racing team failed to make one of their entries qualify for this race, as well as Jarvie Motorsports and the Zacapa Racing team, who's still fairly new. So I mean, having smaller, I guess, unupgraded equipment, it's more likely he might fail to qualify future races. But you know, we got a short track coming up next, and different track styles suit different track drivers. Or not track drivers, just regular drivers. And you never know what's going to happen. I mean, some guys race really well on road courses, short tracks, speedways, super speedways. It's all up in the air for Bristol. Go through the field a little bit, just checking in on everybody as that 29 truck has made the most moves since we've gone back green. Made his way up to second, fighting for second with Greg Shetner. Shetner not wanting to give that position up easily. Nearing lap 38, so we may have pit stops coming up shortly. Whether they're going to take 2 tires or 4 remains to be seen. But if I'm a betting man, I'll say they're just going to take 4 tires. But 2 tires would not be a bad call if we keep it green. I mean, the amount of time lost versus gained probably pay itself off. Only about 14 to go once they make their stop. Christian Grace dominating the middle stages of this race. It's all Matitude Motors to start. Now it's Blue Dog's turn. Who's fraud? Hey Jess, who's fraud? What is let's go fraud? Is that supposed to say Ford? Speaking of Fords, got 2 of them now. Trying to get themselves into the top 5. Like Chevy's starting to fade a little bit in the latter stages of this one. Of course, Attitude Motors is a Chevy team, and they are upgraded more than any other team, I would say, overall. They're starting to fade as this race goes on. Keith Hughes leading that second pack, fighting for last spot in the top 10. 2 of the new drivers right here, 39 and the 27, sitting nicely in the top 10, as we have the 39 coming down pit road, as well as our race leader Tristan Grace. He was looks like he was very quick in the pit road. I don't know, guys like to push it to the very limit. Alright, just trying to get the spectator angle so we can do the most amount of pit stalls in one shot. Rest of the leader should come this time or next time for sure, as Jess Hanna looks like he's going to stay out one more lap with Lily Holmes. Not sure if it's going to be an advantage to stay out or if it's just going to lose time. Of course, avoiding that traffic on pit road always helps, as we saw on many occasions. Hard to focus on these trucks as there's still trucks out on the track, so here's our second leader, Greg Shetner, making his stop, and you can see Jess Hanna in your top left corner there. He's coming down pit road. Comes Tristan Grace right now around turn 4. 31 is a lap down. 33 is second in that order. You can see Tristan Grace coming out of the pits now. The 6 car leading that charge now. 6 car of Sean Cohen having a great stop, and he'll have the momentum as they come into turn 3, but will it be enough to get past the 43? Doesn't look like it may be enough, but that 31 is going to pick off the 33. The 33 goes on the apron. Very aggressive move by Noah Cole. Here's that third group coming out of the pits now, so I mean, the overcut is real. Here comes Jess Hanna now. Is he gonna take over the lead from this pit sequence? Looking like it's gonna happen. Yeah, Jess Hanna takes over the lead from the pit stops. Excellent pit strategy from the 29. Good job. We're on lap 45 now, 54. 10 laps to go, and Jess Hanna has taken over the lead. Tristan Grace losing 2 positions on those pit stops, falling from 1st to 3rd. Now Jess Hanna has a bit of a gap now. .33 with a great stop, and one of his first green flag stops. I believe that 31 is a lap down, so just be mindful of that as Julia Powell goes to make her move on him. Tracking down the top 5 here, and then we have a bit of a gap from 39 and 17, 82 and 27. All these are for position, but a 2-second gap between them and the leaders. Attitude Motors not the best stopping strategy, but you know, top 10 is still decent enough to get you in the playoffs. Remember, if you want a race like Danielle Baker already has, I mean, you don't really need to push it too much unless you want playoff points. But personally, I think it's just enough to make your way into the playoffs and kind of just get experience. 44 of Sam King is a lap down. Damaged earlier in the only caution we've had today. See the 43 and 2 of Tristan Grace are starting to track down the 29 of Jess Hanna, but track position has been very important here tonight. That aero push off these big trucks. Oh, Tristan Grace looks like he has a strong truck, but got 2 lap older tires than the 29. Could be a small advantage. Looks like the 48 got his damage fixed, but he's now going to be a lap down. I think he had a longer pit stop fixing that damage. Plus all the time lost before that really cost them. Good finishing position tonight. It's unfortunate for Callum. He's I think he's very much been a disappointment after 3 races now. Not living up to the Johnson name. Speaking of failed legacies, Ben Gordon, 27th right now. Also, you know, a highly touted rookie coming into this season. He's had okay runs, but nothing to write home about. Nothing that's been impressive so far. Nothing like Noah Cole today. Noah Cole in his 3rd race, battling for his first win. Ooh, 33, very aggressive move. That 44 is hanging with team car Tristan Grace. You'll want to get out of the way as they put a 3 wide move on Noah Cole, and that'll bump him right down to 5th, looks like. The Blue Dog boys making some team moves here. Remember that 48 car is a lap down, so he's not battling for a race win, and we are in lap 32. I lost track of time a little bit. It was going so fast as the 43 tries to get around a lap car, and it's bad sportsmanship by Johnson, but a nickname like Bastard, we want to live up to that legacy a little bit. .29 on the second last lap. Francisco Guerrero going a lap down. Jess Hanna has some breathing space over Tristan Grace now, and 1.5 miles away from his 2nd victory in the series, first one of the season. We'll talk about Noah's legacy a bit later. But right now it's all Jess. And that Ford Performance, Ford F-150 is going to come around the final corner and get his first win of the season. Nice job, Jess. You are the 3rd winner in as many races. You punch your ticket to the playoffs. Welcome to the show. Tristan Grace getting nice, hard-fought 2nd place. Greg Shetner up front most of the night, getting a top 5 as well for those 2 Dodges. That's a great achievement. 48's a lap down. 33, Noah Cole coming home in 4th. Not bad. Not bad at all. All 4 manufacturers represented in the top 5. Oh, sorry, no Chevy. Wow, highest Chevy finished 9th with newcomer Jonathan Dennison. Not bad for his first run. Let's see who else finished here. We got Julia Powell in 6th. Keith Hughes finishing 7th. Very respectable. Vladimir Makarov getting top 10 out of this one. That's good. Dennison, we already talked about. And Danielle Baker very consistently around the top 10 all night. Christina Ferguson finishing 11th. And Irvin Vargas, another just short of a top 10, but he's been very consistent this season, finishing 14th. Casey Weber getting his best of the season in 15th. Go down a little bit for the rest of the Standings Hubbard in his first race, 21st. See a lot of comers and goers from qualifying. Very interesting. And sorry, I did not see Guillermo Alvarez suffer any gearbox issues. I apologize for not covering that. I just saw that now. He'll finish a disappointing 37th after having a good first 2 races of the season. This is his first bad one of the season, so hopefully there's not too many of those to go. But alas, this is the end of the race here. We're at Bristol with trucks next time, and we'll gotta ship ourselves over to Las Vegas right now for the Xfinity race in their 3rd race of the season. So give me a couple minutes to swap everything over, and we'll be back with Xfinity shortly. Give myself maybe 5-10 minutes to get reorganized, and we'll be back with Xfinity shortly this afternoon. Congratulations to Jess Hanna on your first win of the season. Excellent run by the top 5 and 10 tonight, today. And we'll see you at Bristol.